In this video, we will be covering the main screen view functionality in GradeMetrix. This is everything an operator would need to know if a job was loaded with the surface, line work, and localization. We'll start off in the upper left corner. This is our menu. This is where you go to open jobs, modify jobs, or create jobs. And we have more advanced functionality we'll be covering in other videos. To exit the menu, hit the same icon. To the right, you'll see the job name. This one's called Maricopa. If there's only one surface loaded in the job, that's all you see is the job name. If we have a job with multiple surfaces, you'll see the surface name behind it as well. This job, I have two different surfaces. I have a finished grade surface and a subgrade surface. If you look over here at the cross-section and plan views, you'll see two lines. There's a white line representing my finished grade and a yellow line representing my subgrade. It'll only give me cut fill to the selected surface. So if I select subgrade, watch what happens to my cross-section and profile view. You'll now see the old finished grade line represented above the subgrade, and now my cut fill is going to the subgrade. In the settings, you can change the color of the surface and the lines as well. Next, if we have an excavator selected as a machine, you'll see a picture of a bucket and the name of the bucket we currently have selected. When doing the installation, you measure and calibrate each bucket, and all the operator has to do is hit this icon to switch back and forth between the different buckets they have available. GradeMetrix is currently showing us we have an RTK fixed position. If something happens to the base, like the batteries die or you lose signal from the radio, this will change to either show float, autonomous, or DGPS fix. And notice we don't have a cut and fill why this happened. This is a diagnostic tool showing the operator something has happened. These do not clear out until you physically clear them. So since I went to float, I'll go in here and it said I had a low precision solution. If I close it and now have a fix, the warning will disappear. This is the user icon showing us that we're in operator mode. By default, GradeMetrix will open up in operator mode. If I go into the menu, you'll notice some of the apps are grayed out. This is to protect the job data and the equipment setup. These are also customizable in the settings, so you can open up different apps for different operators. Next, we have the information summary. This is the blue icon with the eye in it. This will give the operator more information about the machine's position. All these text items are also customizable in settings. If you go to Info Summary, you can check on or off what items you want or don't want to see. To exit out of Information Summary, simply click anywhere in the black box or the Information Summary icon. Next is our Monitor view. This will give the operator more diagnostic data. In the VR1000 tab, you can see our corrections coming in from the base, and you can see the distance away from the base. You'll also see your horizontal and vertical residuals, along with the amount of satellites being used in the solution. You can also see a plot view of the satellites being used, a list of all the satellites being used, and pertinent sensor information coming back from the machine. And under Vehicle Info, this will give us a northing-easting elevation to the focus point of the machine. If I get out of monitor mode, you'll see there's a green triangle on the left side of my bucket, and that's where the northing, easting, and elevation information is coming from. If I go to 3D point check, I can also get northing, easting elevation on the right, left, and center of my bucket. You could then use this information to check the machine's accuracy with a rover. Finally, the last icon in the upper toolbar is our different views. Some of the views I find useful in the machines is Plan, Section, Cut, Fill, and Plan, Section, and Section Only, and for dozers, Dual, Cut, Fill. For excavators, one of my favorites is Plan, Section, and Profile. In each one of the views, you'll have three different icons. You'll have Zoom In, Zoom Out, and in the plan view, if you don't see yourself on screen, the bottom crosshair will focus the machine on you, and it'll also lock the plan view to the center of the machine. So wherever you move, the machine is always in view. In cross-section and profile views, we give you the same zoom in and zoom out icons. Traditionally, surface models are always built to a finished grade. You'll have to subtract the amount of asphalt and or concrete and finish course, and this is done using vertical offset. There's a few different ways to manipulate the vertical offset. From the main screens, we have an increment and decrement button. These buttons are used to adjust the vertical offset by a certain amount, either up or down. If I click the up 3 times, you'll notice that this number changed to show that I have a 3/10 vertical offset, And then in my cross-section and profile views, you'll notice a white dashed line representing that as well. The amount that each button push changes the vertical offset is customizable. If you click and hold anywhere along this light bar, it'll bring up the grading tab. This vertical step equates to the amount that each button push represents. So on larger machines, we could change this to 0.25 feet instead of a tenth. When I do that, you'll now notice my vertical offset changes by 0.25. If you would rather type in the vertical offset, you have that capability by clicking and holding in this light bar. And we can change the vertical offset by typing it in here. I'll change it back to 0. You'll now see that I don't have a vertical offset selected. If the project you're on requires multiple different vertical offsets, we have the capability of saving 9 different presets. Again, click and hold in the light bar, and it'll bring up the grading tab again. You'll notice at the bottom are our different presets. To change these, just type in the vertical offset that you want to save, and click and hold anywhere on the presets to save it. I'll do a couple more. We also give you the capability to store up to 9 different presets. I mentioned the green arrow earlier in the video. This provides us with the cut fill on the light bar. Currently, we're showing about grade on the left side of the tip. If I wanted my focus point to be on the right side or center of the blade instead of the left, all I have to do is click and hold anywhere in the cross-section view, and I can switch it from left center to right with the drop-down menu. Watch what happens to the light bar when I switch it to the right side. Now we're showing we have 3 foot of cut, which is represented in the cross-section view here. If the operator would like to get station offset from a particular line, it's easy to do by just tapping on the line. When I tap on this line, this will bring up the Guideline menu. We can give the line a name. If the line does not actually start at 0 + 0, 0, we can add in a specified amount. Once this is done, you should have proper stationing on the job. In the plan view on the right, you'll see arrows dictating which way is up station. If the station is going the wrong way, you can use this button to flip the stationing. If all you want is station offset, just click Use this Guideline and OK. You'll notice in the plan view we have a light bar that appeared. It's given us stationing with the corrected value. In offset amount, positive means you're right of the line, and negative would mean you're left of the line. And then we also have a text showing us a horizontal offset if one is being used. In the cross-section view, you'll notice there's a blue line representing the line that we're trying to stake, and a red line showing us where the offset value is being calculated to. If I try and line these up as close as I can, you'll notice my offset amount is 0. This red line could be changed to the left, center, or right of your bucket as well. To do that, click and hold anywhere in this light bar and change the guide location to the desired side of the bucket. You'll now notice that the red line is on the left side of my bucket and the offset amount is half the distance of the bucket. If I wanted to add a horizontal offset to this line, again, that's done by clicking and holding in the light bar, and I can change a horizontal offset here. A minus would be to the left and a positive would be to the right. I'll give this one an offset of 5 feet and OK. Now in the plan view, you'll see the original blue line we selected, and the green line represents the new offset value. In the cross-section view, the same thing happens. The blue line is the original line, the green is the offset value, and the red line is where the offset value is getting calculated to. If I'm done staking this line, all I have to do is click and hold on the line that I originally selected, and in the lower left, you'll see turn off guidance. If you'll notice in the cross-section view, my bucket is wider than the bottom of this trench. I could use the Guideline feature to get a cutter fill a specific width to fix this. To do this, select the line that you want to get the cut fill from. The same Guideline menu will appear. I won't worry about naming or stationing this time, but what I will do is check this Use for Design Elevation. What that means is I want my cut or fill to come from that line. The limit width means how far left or right of that line do I want to get cut fill. For this particular scenario, I know my bucket is about 7 feet wide, so I'll type in 7 feet here. I'll check Use Guideline and OK. Now you'll notice a new purple surface has appeared. It's 7 foot wide and it's using the elevation of this line, giving me a new 7 foot flat bottom trench that my bucket will fit in. While using Guideline to get cut fill, you can still use your vertical offset as well. Also notice in the upper left, after Maricopa, it also tells us we're using a 3D guideline. This means our cut or fill is coming from the guideline and not the surface itself. When you're done getting cut fill from the guideline and you want to go back to surface, click and hold on the guideline and turn off guidance. The last feature we have in main screen views is the way you see the data coming from this light bar and you can configure it for different size machines. To do this, click and hold on the light bar, switch to the Limits tab. The upper and lower limit amounts is the threshold where this arrow starts moving up or down at the screen. Currently it's set to 1.5 feet. So this arrow will not start moving down until it sees 1.5 feet of cut or 1.5 feet of fill. For larger machines, this might be too tight of a tolerance. I'll change this to 3 foot. Now watch what happens when I move the boom. Once I cross that 3 foot threshold, the arrow will start moving down for me. And same way on the lower limit. The last two items that we have in that menu is the upper and lower band. What that is, it's going to show you grade at a particular amount. By default, it's set to 1/10. So on larger machines, this might be too small of an amount. Again, we can change that by clicking and holding on the light bar, going to Limits, and for larger machines, I might set this to 0.2 and minus 0.2. Now it'll show me that I'm on grade if I'm 2/10 above or 2/10 below the actual proposed surface. All of these main screen view functions work the same. So no matter if you're using an excavator, a dozer, or any other machines, you'll have the same functionality. This is everything an operator would need to know if a project was loaded, contained a surface, line work, and a localization, and the base was set to auto start on a permanent type fixture.